think it just caused me to slow down a little bit and enjoy it. And I stopped fighting trying to get back to no baby Shay. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy, we do things kind of natural, a little bit granola, cloth diapering, hypnobirthing, elimination communication, that kind of stuff. If you're into it, please subscribe. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Instagram stories a lot. It's also Hey Shayla. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 6-month-old, and today I just want to talk to you about something happened recently. I don't know what it is, and I'll maybe unpack that as I make this video, but I just feel like I've come into motherhood a little bit more and I'm like basking in it. And I make this video hesitantly because I made the video that's like, number 2 is so much easier than 1, and so many people were like, what the fuck? Like, it's not been easier for me. And I don't ever want to make anyone feel bad about that, because my first experience with my first daughter was gnarly. Like, I had such a hard time becoming a mother, and I think it's because I went from traveling full time, not having any responsibility, not having anybody rely on me, and then COVID hit, and then I couldn't travel anywhere, and I had this child that was like solely reliant on me, and I have a great partner, and I was like, we're gonna do things 50-50. But then I breastfed, she never took a bottle. So like, Seth doesn't have lactating boobs, so it can't really be 50-50. And just like, they're attached to you for 9 months, so they're still attached to you for 9. There's just so much that happens that I just was not prepared for. Self-diagnosed, I think I had postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. I'm not exactly sure. I even like talked to my midwives about it, and they're like, yeah, we can start you on medication if you want. I don't know, it sounds okay to me. And I was just like, okay, never mind. And I reached out to a friend who had postpartum depression, and she's like, if you're asking, something's going on. And I was like, okay, never did anything about it. I feel like I'm self-diagnosing now because now with my second, I don't have it. It has been a night and day, totally different experience this time. So I'm making this video not to be like, oh my gosh, I'm having such a great time. Sorry if you're not. I'm making it to try and help you get there if you're not, or like to try and give you some things to think about or consider. And if none of it resonates, then it's fine. I probably could have watched this with my first and been like, cool, Shay, crickets, you know? I'm gonna start by reading a post that I just posted on Instagram when I was deep in my feels. And when I decided to make this video, I was also deep in my feels. I'm not as deep here. Like, I'm like, this is hard again. Or I don't know. I think I was just in a little sweet spot. This is the post. I'm laying with my babies. It says, these nights used to be so hard for me. There was so much that needed to get done. I needed to be able to do all the things like I had before. A child shouldn't change that. But they do. It does. Everything changes. Your baseline drops. But not because everything is failing, but because you need to make more space for this. They were never a burden. The less time I had to do the things, that felt like the burden. But then something switched almost 2.5 years into motherhood. I finally recognized what a blessing it is that my body, simply my presence, is what calms them. It's what makes them feel safe, calm, and secure. Where else in the world do I need to be? Both a million places and absolutely nowhere but here. So I asked myself, what is my biggest priority? And the answer was them. There's a lot of talk of finding yourself, not mom self, not wife self, but you. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but that is me. Mom self is me. Wife self is me. I've changed. I never wanted to be just a mom or to be the leader of a household. That felt like a trap to me. But once I realized what a gift those roles are and how they're both temporary and desperately needed, they felt liberating. I found it's all up to me. Is this life a burden that I need to manage or a gift that I need to bask in? I still may cry in frustration or overwhelm, and in a few years things will likely change again. But for now, I choose to see the blessing, and that has made all the difference. That's how I feel. Like, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I can't get my work done, I can't get this done, I can't get brr. And I think it's because I have Aaliyah growing up so fast. She's 2.5, and then this new baby, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you already have like 6 months. I just like want to snuggle you, and I just want to enjoy all these little moments because I know that 2.5 comes so fast. So I think it just caused me to slow down a little bit and enjoy it. And I stopped fighting trying to get back to no baby Shay. Before I was like, do you feel like a mom or do you feel like Shayla with kids? And I was like, I feel like Shayla with kids. Now I feel like mom. And I'm interviewing someone on my podcast about this. There's a term, I'm gonna play it again because I can't remember how to pronounce it.
Matresscence.
Matresscence. So basically that's like the transformation from no kids to motherhood, and apparently it takes 2 to 3 years. Weird. So I'm interviewing someone on my podcast about that, and this is what she said. We can absolutely talk about matrescence. It ties into the mommy brain topic perfectly. Basically, when you become a mother, your brain undergoes a complete reorganization, massive neurological changes. That's why you don't feel like yourself again. Just like with puberty, we never go back to being a child, but we aren't suddenly a woman at age 12. It takes a few years to mature into the next phase of womanhood. Same is true with matrescence. If all women had an understanding of these phases, they might be more patient with themselves during the initial phase transformation. There's no bouncing back. We only evolve forward, and it takes time. Cannot wait to interview her. That's how it feels. It just feels like finally I'm like, okay, I am a mom. That is what I am. Am I bummed that I don't get to go to the bridal party without my kids? Nah, they're a part of me now. Like, let's go. Let's do this together. I'm not trying to do these things not a mom anymore. I'm going to a conference and I was like, hey, can I wear my child? Before I'd be like, oh, I need to find a babysitter. I need to find someone, but I can't be gone that long. I was trying to be who I was before, and now I'm just like, nah. This is it. If I can only stay at this event for 3 hours because I have to get back to my kid, that's the phase of life I'm in right now. Wild change in perspective and like mindset. And I was not the person that was immediately bonded to my baby. Like I was like, oh my God, what is this baby? Okay, I'm gonna keep it alive. I need to do all these things, but I don't know what I'm doing. And everybody has an opinion about it, so we do floor beds. And everyone's like, what is a floor bed? And I'm like, it works for us. Just every decision you make, everyone has an opinion about, and you're just like not so confident on the things that you're doing because you have no idea and you assume everyone else knows it better, and they do know it better for their family, and you know it better for your family. The further into motherhood you get, the more confident you are to be like, I don't do it like that, and I don't care what you say about it. Some people push out their baby and it's like an immediate bond. They are smitten, they are like all in. And there's obviously a million different things. There's people who do IVF, and those people might feel that right away, or they might not. Just because they want a baby doesn't mean they're gonna immediately bond with it. People who have miscarriages perceive their babies differently, or there's just so many variable situations for how you will immediately interact with your baby, and all of them are right, as long as you love your baby. Because I loved my baby, I just didn't feel this attachment to her until she like started talking. Like, of course it got more and more and more, but when she was like, mommy, and she would smile at me, or she started interacting with me, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So it took a while. With my second baby, it wasn't immediate either, but it was faster. Like, okay, here you are, I know what to do, let's get this, let's breastfeed you, let's snuggle you, let's get you to sleep, let's figure this out, let's carry you. It was just a little bit different because I trusted myself and I kind of already knew the things that I wanted to do. And honestly, I started muting a ton of Instagram accounts. Some of them I just took off, some of them I muted. A lot of them were sleep related because that's what gives me the most anxiety. Even if there were things that I believed in, like I love that you talk about co-sleeping, I just muted them all because I was like, I don't need any more input on this until I have a problem. I'm gonna do what's working for us until I'm like, whoa, okay, something's gotta change. And then I'll reach out to the people that I need to, but I don't need that incoming information. Nah. I think Instagram is helpful and also can be so detrimental to new moms because you're getting all this information. With my second, I threw sleep out the window. I was just like, we're just gonna do what works. And honestly, I didn't wake her up from naps. I just let her do her thing and just let her natural cycle start to happen. And I was tracking it with the Huckleberry app. What I realized was that she has a set number of hours in 24 hours on average that she sleeps. So if she sleeps 7 hours during the day, she's gonna sleep significantly less in the afternoon, or at night, I mean. And so I realized that by just letting her do her thing and like go to sleep when she felt like it, wake up when she felt like it, tracking their natural cycles and like not waking them up. And sometimes I have to wake her up because I have to go pick up Aaliyah from daycare. Wake windows are super helpful for me because when she gets fussy, I look and I'm like, okay, it's limited 20 minutes. Your diaper probably needs to be changed. Or, oh, it's an hour and a half, right on freaking time. This girl is like clockwork. At an hour and a half, she's tired. This is not what this video is about. But what it is about is learning to like trust myself and do what is gonna work until something doesn't work. So I work from home, obviously. Aaliyah goes to daycare 3 days a week. Those are the days that I work. I used to think that working from home was like kind of a burden. I'm like, oh my gosh, it would just be easier if I had to go back to work and I put Aaliyah in daycare and I went back to work and I was able to be a human at work and an adult and talk to other people and then come home and be a mom. And now I'm like, I feel very lucky that I'm able to work from home and do what I do and be with my babies as much as I can. That took shifting my mind of this is a dedicated work day, this is a dedicated mom day, because when I'm doing 50-50, it feels gross. I'm like not paying attention to my kids and I'm not really paying attention to my emails or whatever I'm doing. But if I'm like, okay, today's work day, it doesn't feel bad working. And if today's mom day, I don't work. So just having that like clear distinction has helped me so much. Also, I swear, I just did a video about like the things that I've changed to help with toddler tantrums. That might be a lot of the shift that I'm feeling. It has made motherhood so much more enjoyable because I see my kid crying and instead of being like, oh my gosh, you're crying for the 100th time, which sometimes I still do feel. I'm like, okay, you're trying to tell me something. Today, this morning, she was eating her breakfast and she goes, Mom, new food. New food? What do you want? Do you want, she was eating cereal. I was like, do you want toast? She's like, no, new food. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Come with me, show me what you want. And she walks into the kitchen, opens up the running dishwasher, and I'm like, Aaliyah, don't open that up, it's running, what are you doing? And then I was like, oh, did you say new spoon? She's like, yeah, new spoon. So I got her a new spoon, problem solved. She ate the rest of her cereal, that's it. If I wasn't curious and inquisitive about what she was trying to tell me, because she's trying to tell me something, what do you need? Show me what you need. Come here. And then I understood what she needed and I was able to help her and it just like solved the problem. And she's even been way more calm too. Your kid's not giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. That really changes your perspective. You're like, okay, what are you trying to tell me? Even when Ezzy's crying, is your diaper dirty? No. Are you hungry? No, you won't eat. Cool. Oh, we're at an hour and a half. You're tired. Let's go to sleep. Being less annoyed with them and more curious with them has made our relationship so much better. So I guess what I would recommend if you're struggling through motherhood, because until your kids talk, you can't even do all that. Thinking about what your triggers are. So my triggers were sleep. And I really had to dig deep and think like, how can I make this better? For me, it was just letting go of it all. And honestly, just seeing what happened. Or like, if I need to get my workout in to feel like a human, how can I make that happen? I have to create an environment that is conducive to me getting my workouts in. So if that means putting a gate around myself so I'm not worried about them touching the weights and having them like watch a show for 45 minutes, fine. Think about the things that you need. And sometimes that's hard. You're like, I don't know, I'm just too overwhelmed. Do you need meals? Do you need to work out? Do you need to read a book? Do you need more sleep? Hire a sleep consultant. Figuring out what you need and then making changes towards that. And that's a huge task. A, figuring out what you need and B, doing it. But like, I want to go on runs. I took Aaliyah for a 1.5 mile run in the stroller and she was screaming the whole time because she wanted to go to the park. Well, guess what? Maybe I'm going to have to start with a 1/2 mile or a 1 mile run with her and be like, hey, we're gonna go on a stroller ride. Be very clear, we're not going to the park, we're going on a stroller ride. Do a 1 mile, get her used to it because the first time, the 5th time you do something new, they're gonna be like, this is annoying, why do I just have to sit here? But then they're gonna learn, oh, this is what we do and then we go to the park. Or, oh, I know that we're going on a stroller ride. Figure out what you need to do to make yourself happier and then make changes to do that. So basically for me, the shift happened when I stopped trying to be Shay before kids. And I really took on what it meant for me to be mom. And that is when everything changed. And before I was like, 2 kids, that's it. Then we can get back to life as it was. We can start traveling again. We can start doing things again. We can whatever. With this shift, I'm like, let's have 15 kids because I'm a mom and this is what we're doing. We might as well just go dive in. And I'm like, so I need to like pump the brakes and moderate this a bit. But I just feel finally happy. Motherhood did feel like a trap to me. Like, I say just be a mom because that's how I felt. I was like, I don't want to just be a mom. I want to have something else that I do. I just don't see that anymore. I think that just being a mom and being present with your kids and being happy and proud of getting birthdays ready for them, because I don't love doing that, but like that sounds fun to make those memories for them. And I don't know, this is getting long, but I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I'm curious to hear what you guys feel. Like, did it take you a while to become a mother? Did it just happen immediately and you were like good to go? Or what was your experience? I would love it if you would share it. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.